In the matchup against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Dodger Stadium, Shohei Ohtani once again started as the leadoff hitter and designated hitter. Coming off an explosive series against the Colorado Rockies, the 32-year-old star quickly made an impact on the game. In the first inning, Ohtani showed a patient approach at the plate. Rather than trying to hit a home run immediately, he focused on reading pitches, controlling the strike zone, and waiting for the right opportunity. In his first matchup against starter Bubba Chandler, Ohtani refused to chase pitches outside his preferred zone and eventually drew a walk. That plate appearance was especially valuable given Ohtani's role as the leadoff hitter. For the first hitter in the lineup, the job is not only to produce big hits, but also to find ways to reach base, extend at-bats, and force the opposing pitcher to throw more pitches early in the game. Ohtani did exactly that, making Chandler work before reaching base without needing a hit. Ohtani's walk was quickly converted into a run. Once Ohtani reached base, the hitters behind him continued to increase the pressure on the Pirates pitcher. Max Muncy did not waste the opportunity, launching a two-run home run to give the Dodgers a 2-1 lead. When Muncy sent the ball over the center field wall to put the Dodgers ahead, the entire stadium seemed to erupt. Within seconds, the energy of the game shifted as fans jumped to their feet and the Dodgers dugout celebrated together. But amid all that excitement, Shohei Ohtani reacted very differently. Instead of immediately joining his teammates in celebration, Ohtani paused near the plate, looked toward Muncy, and tipped his cap as a gesture of respect. The gesture drew attention because it came at the very moment when the emotions of the entire team were at their highest. Ohtani could easily have celebrated like everyone else, but instead he chose a simple and understated gesture. The restraint made the moment feel even more meaningful. It was almost like a silent thank you, showing that Ohtani fully understood the value of Muncy's hit to the entire team. During the post-game press conference, when asked about the gesture, Ohtani reportedly spoke sincerely about how he views winning. He said, "I want everyone to understand that this victory was a team effort. A home run doesn't happen in isolation. Before that, there are patient at-bats, smart base running, and patience from the entire team. I'm just a small part of that machine." The statement showed that Ohtani did not view a decisive hit as the achievement of one individual. In baseball, a major scoring play is often the result of many small details building up beforehand. One player might extend an at-bat and force the opposing pitcher to throw more pitches. Another might reach base through a walk. Then, when the opportunity finally appears, a powerful hit like Muncy's can have maximum impact. That is also why Muncy's home run meant more than simply 2 runs on the scoreboard. It was the result of the entire team continually applying pressure to the opposing pitcher and defense. When Muncy finally sent the ball out of the park, he not only gave the Dodgers the lead, but also released all the pressure that had been building through the previous at-bats. For Ohtani, the cap tip was his way of acknowledging that entire sequence of effort. Ohtani is not usually the type of player who displays strong emotions publicly. He generally maintains a calm demeanor, focuses on his performance, and rarely makes himself the center of attention during moments away from the action. That is why his decision to openly acknowledge Muncy while the rest of the team was celebrating also highlighted the quiet leadership role Ohtani has increasingly taken on inside the clubhouse. A leader in baseball does not necessarily have to be the loudest person in the room. Sometimes influence comes from reacting appropriately in the right moment, recognizing a teammate's contribution, and making the players around you feel that their effort has been noticed. Ohtani's gesture carried exactly that kind of meaning. He did not need to give a long speech on the field. A simple tip of the cap was enough to communicate his respect. For the younger players on the Dodgers, moments like that can carry significant emotional value. When a superstar like Ohtani is willing to give the spotlight to a teammate, it sends a clear message that team success comes before individual achievement. The home run might belong to Muncy, another big hit might belong to Ohtani, but the victory belongs to the entire team. Several younger players were reportedly said to have felt motivated by Ohtani's reaction after the game. That is not difficult to understand. A young player can learn hitting mechanics from superstar, but the way a star treats his teammates can sometimes have an even longer-lasting impact. By publicly placing team value above individual achievement, Ohtani was setting a standard for how players in the clubhouse should view winning. In his second plate appearance in the third inning, Ohtani came to the plate with the score tied 2-2, a runner on second base, and no outs. He delivered an important single to center field, allowing the Dodgers to maintain pressure and create another scoring opportunity. The Dodgers later loaded the bases with 2 outs. Betts continued to rally with a 2-run single, allowing the Dodgers to regain control of the game. Another notable element was that Yoshinobu Yamamoto started the game for the Dodgers. This was Yamamoto's first start since turning 28, so Ohtani was also expected to help provide run support for his fellow Japanese teammate. Although he did not directly drive in a run during the early innings, Ohtani still contributed by reaching base, collecting a hit, and scoring. The game also took place during MLB Players Weekend, an event that allows players to express their personalities through customized equipment. While many players chose bats featuring bright and distinctive designs, Ohtani appeared with his familiar black bat. Compared with Players Weekend in 2024, Ohtani's choice this time was much more understated, as he had previously worn shoes featuring decoy and used a bat engraved with kanji characters. However, what fans cared about most was still Ohtani's hitting form. Before returning to Dodger Stadium, he had just completed an extremely impressive series at Coors Field, hitting 3 home runs in 3 games against the Rockies. That stretch showed that Ohtani's form was clearly returning after a period in which physical issues had forced him to adjust the way he played. In the first game of that series, Ohtani was especially dominant against Tomoyuki Sugano. He hit his 28th home run of the season off his fellow Japanese pitcher, bringing his total number of home runs against Sugano in their matchups to 4. Not long afterward, Ohtani made another major impact by hitting a 2-run home run off reliever Juan Mejia, marking the first time this season that he homered in consecutive plate appearances. It was also one of Ohtani's most complete offensive performances of the year. He finished the game with 4 hits, his first 4-hit game of the season, while also showing the ability to drive the ball to different areas of the field rather than relying only on pull-side power. In the following game, Ohtani once again went deep with his 30th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. That milestone made him the first Japanese player in MLB history to record at least 30 home runs in 6 consecutive seasons. Among active players, he also became one of the very few to sustain that level of consistency for 6 straight years. The achievement was even more impressive considering Ohtani had been forced to put his pitching role on hold since July because of an issue with his left knee. Instead of continuing as a two-way player, the Dodgers shifted him to focus entirely on hitting in order to reduce the physical load on his body. Even so, managing the injury did not cause Ohtani's offensive power to disappear. 3 home runs in the Rockies series, combined with his ability to continue reaching base upon returning to Dodger Stadium, suggested that he was finding an excellent rhythm again at the plate. At his current level of performance, his 31st home run is clearly something fans are waiting for, but what Ohtani is showing is more important than any single statistical milestone. He is combining patience, contact ability, and power effectively while continuing to reach base and create opportunities for the hitters behind him. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with the biggest MLB fan you know.